Good morning and welcome to Conversations. I hope you're doing well this morning. I hope you brought your coffee. I got mine. Well, for those of you who may not know who I am Charlene Robinson, and I am a mental health therapist. And I am here to help erase the stigma of mental health. I am qualified professional. I am a certified pastoral counselor, as well as a LCAS-A, which is a substance abuse counselor. All right, so we're going to be talking about some interesting things. And it was interesting because my cousin actually brought this to my attention. I said, that is so true. Why is it so hard for us to ask for help? We're going to explore that. Enjoy this music. Of course, I do not own the rights to the music. And have some coffee or tea or whatever it is that helps you get started in the morning. All right. We shall carry on. All right, so why is it so hard for us to ask for help? That is a good question. When it comes to other people, we have no problem. We jump right in, we go and assist, we do whatever it is that we need to do to help that person out. For example, if you see someone who got hit by a car and you just happen to come upon it, what are you going to do? You're going to pull over, or if you're walking, you're going to stop and you're going to call 911. You're going to ask them if they need help. And the person laying on the ground, they're going to know that they need help. You won't have to, convince that person. You need to go to the hospital. So when it comes to our mental health, why is it so hard? Well, I'm going to give you some reasons. One, people, especially like us, are very hardwired and independent. We can handle anything on our own. We got this, we don't need any help. We're fine, just having a bad day. People try to downplay what they're dealing with. And I think another reason is because sometimes we're so super spiritual. Well, God's going to fix it. Yes, he will. He will. You ask him, he will. But at the same time, sometimes you need a little more help. I pray as well, but I also have a therapist. I have a clinical supervisor. And when I hit a wall, I call her. Okay. And no one should be beyond asking for help. We're still human and we're still here in this earth dealing with everything. We're dealing with a pandemic, as controversial as it is becoming, because it seems like they're forcing this vaccine on us, and then people are wearing masks who have not been vaccinated, and they're saying that they are, and they're not wearing their mask. Listen, I'm just going to give my opinion on that right now. Until COVID leaves town, I am going to continue to wear my mask. Yes. Okay. And then another thing that plays a part in asking for help is just fear. We don't want to be perceived as being needy or, not competent, not sufficient enough to, really know what it is that we need. We don't want to come across as being weak. And that is not a reason or an excuse not to ask for help. If you need the help, ask for it. All right. And sometimes people don't know how to ask for it. Knowledge is power. Okay. And sometimes you have not because you ask not. If you don't ask people for help, or if you don't ask the questions that you have, then how do you expect to get the answers? So here's a couple of things that I gleaned on how to ask for help, other than just opening your mouth and saying, hey, I need a little help down here. I mean, sometimes that's just how my prayers are in the morning. It's like, Lord, I need some help today. I got a whole calendar of stuff to do. I'm going to need a little help from you today. And there's no shame in asking for help. We don't have a problem asking God for help, but why do we have a problem asking each other? Especially those who love and care about us. Okay. All right. So first of all, you need to identify what you are feeling, and any immediate or unmet needs. You need to know what they are first. Okay. Sometimes the first step to getting any type of relief is to know what it is that you're feeling, being able to name your emotions. And there are a lot of emotions that we do not use. We'll either use, oh, I'm good, sad, angry, happy. But there are so many others. I actually pulled a list off of my favorite website, Therapist Aid. And I'm just going to read a few of these that some of us don't even use. Like I'm feeling hyper. What's hyper? When you're restless, just got to move, keep moving. Distracted. That's another word we don't use. Confused, because as saints of God, we're not supposed to be confused. I've had some times when I've been confused. Disgusted. That's another, term that we don't really use. Skeptical or apathetic. These are all feeling and emotion words. Overwhelmed. Now we have learned that word during this pandemic. Let's see. Focus, on edge is another one. Let's see. Annoyed. That's a word that we don't necessarily use. And bored, wore out, embarrassed, ashamed. Some of these words we don't use, but sometimes you need to be able to express what it is that you're feeling. Okay, so name it. Identify what it is that you're feeling. Also try telling someone you trust. I'm talking about tried and true, ride or die kind of friends. Okay, I'm not talking about just anybody. But tell somebody how you're really feeling. Like when people ask, hey girl, how you doing? Well, I don't know. Do you just want the surface answer or do you want the truth? Okay. Now a real friend is going to already know something wrong because they can hear it in your voice, or maybe they can see it on your face. Like, your words are saying you're okay, but you're not okay. So what's going on? Okay. But tell them how you're feeling. And then resist the temptation to downplay it. We're always like, wait, well, I'm going through something, but I'm going to be all right. No. What you dealing with? What can I help you with? Sometimes when we talk to people, we just have those surface conversations. Like we don't really get into what's going on. We need to get into what's going on with people, especially now. People are stressed. All of my clients right now are stressed out. And I'm like, am I having any effect? Because last week they were doing okay. This week it's like, what happened? Okay. But, don't downplay these difficult emotions that you may be having. Express how you really feel. Let people know. And sometimes we'll say stuff like, well, I'm just feeling a little nervous today, when you're really having a panic attack. There's a big difference. A little anxiety, okay. But when you're really just like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh my God, you're having a panic attack and maybe you need to talk to somebody, anybody, somebody. Sometimes you could just talk to a stranger just to get it out, because what happens when you don't get it out? It turns inward and then it turns physical. Okay. All right. It's also okay to ask for help, even if you don't even know what it is that you're feeling or what you need. Have you ever been like that? And I know we have this saying, well, I'm feeling some kind of way. Well, what kind of way are you feeling? Well, I don't know. I can't put a name on it. Like none of these words match what I'm feeling. Okay, so then say that. Say that, because usually what happens is as you begin to talk, then you can go ahead and, talk it out, and somebody can help process it with you. Okay. Emotions are complicated. Hello. I know this is not a news flash, but emotions are complicated and solutions are not always cut and dry and easy. If you're not sure, just say so. You're not sure. You can still ask for help, but you got to ask. You can always say, listen, I don't know what I need, but I know I need to talk and I don't want to be alone. I know there's a lot of people who are grieving right now. They've had a loss either from the virus or a pandemic or something, and they don't know, they're grieving. And sometimes people just want you on the phone. They may not even say a whole lot, but they just want to talk. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with just talking. And sometimes it just, they may listen. I'm going to put you on speaker. I'm going to be washing some dishes or washing some clothes. I just need somebody here. You know what I mean? All right. Getting help doesn't mean you always have to talk or share anything that's going on if you're uncomfortable doing so. And because depending on who you're speaking to, you may or may not want to share totally with them. But you can just say, listen, I got something going on right now. I really can't put any words to it. And I don't feel, comfortable talking about it, but I am talking to someone. So this way that person knows, okay, well, you're not talking to me. Cool. That's okay. But you are talking to somebody. And that's great. That's better than not talking to anyone. All right. Last week I talked about balcony people and those that those ride or die friends, because you cannot share everything with everybody. And this shouldn't be a newsflash, but some things your intimate feelings and what you're really dealing with and what you're really going through, you really just can't tell everybody. All right. And then here's another thing. What and how you share your personal feelings really depends on who you're talking to. So some people, you've got to set up boundaries. You absolutely must. Boundaries and limits. Because you may start to talk to somebody and all of a sudden you realize, this may not be the person I need to talk to right now. So then you got to kind of backpedal that and say, listen, I got to go. I'll talk to you later. Because it just like a light bulb goes on like, this is not the right person to talk to. So you can set boundaries and, have limits about your self-disclosure. And it's okay. It's okay. They'll get it. They'll understand or not. And it's okay. All right. And then here's another thing you can do. Try setting up regular check-ins with people, especially right now. People that are living alone. Who seem like they have a strong exterior, but inside and behind closed doors, they are bouncing off the walls. Okay, so every now and then you might want to do a check-in, maybe knock on the door and say, hey, you good? Because it's a lot. It's a lot, especially when there are younger people who are taking care of older people. Or they're living in the house with them, or they're not, or they're a distance away or something. It's a lot. You've got to talk to someone. It's called compassion fatigue or caregiver fatigue. And you just need to either get out the house, go for a walk, even if you just walk down the street to the corner, do some kind of self-care. There's those words again. Yes, because if we don't take care of us, nobody else will. Okay. All right, because sometimes it's good to check on those that are dealing with something. Just call them up. Hey, what's up? Say something funny to them. See how they react. Something. People who need checking in on. Come on now. Also, check-ins help you be accountable to yourself, and by keeping you accountable to those you love and care about. If you tell somebody, listen, I'm going to call you at 5 o'clock to see how you're doing, then call them at 5 o'clock and see how they're doing. Because 1, they're expecting your phone call. And 2, they may really need to talk. And sometimes all we need to do is listen. I'm getting there. I'm going to get there. I think I'm jumping ahead of myself. All right. And then honor your commitment. Keep your word. Come on. We got to do better, people. We'll say we're going to do something and then we don't. And then we're not accountable and we just let it drop. Come on. We got to do better. All right. Here's another thing. This is very important. If you are in a crisis, do not wait. Ask for help. If you call someone and not available, you get the voicemail, call somebody else. Okay? Listen, let me explain to you what a crisis is. According to NAMI.org, which is a national mental health organization, A mental health crisis is any situation in which a person's behavior puts them at risk of hurting themselves or others, and or prevents them from being able to care for themselves or function. If that is you, get help right away. Okay? You can call me, you can text me, you can call 911. You have to do something if this is what you're feeling, because you are in crisis. Okay? A crisis is an emergency. You can call 911 and say, listen, I don't know what's going on. I need help. I don't know what kind of help I need. Listen, they will send out an ACT team, which is, a crisis team. They'll send a social worker, a mental health professional, an EMS, an ENT, and maybe a police if they need it. Okay? Know this. If someone tells you they have a plan to hurt themselves or they have a plan to take somebody else's life, you need to call 911 on their behalf and let that 911 know I need someone to go and do a mental health wellness check, so the police don't come with guns drawn. That is not the kind of help that person needs. But they do know what a mental health wellness check is. So that's what you're asking 911 to do for that person that's in crisis. Because what they may do, they will go call the ACT team and they will go out. Okay, that's really important to know. All right. And then I'm just going to end with this. First of all, I know everybody's dealing with something. Okay, but you need to know this. You are not alone. Okay, you're not alone. You may feel like you're alone. You could be in a crowded house full of folk and still feel alone. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay. But know that you are not alone. First of all, God is always with us. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. But sometimes you need somebody with some flesh on them. Okay. Know that you can reach out and touch somebody. Okay. Asking for help with your mental health can feel scary. Sure, it can. Because you're admitting like there's a weakness within me and I can't control it. And it's okay. It's okay. But here's the thing. Love always conquers fear. Always. Okay? God has not given us a spirit of fear. That comes from the enemy. Okay? So pull up your big girl panties and pants or whatever. And if you need help, ask. There's no shame in asking. We are us mental health professionals are trying to erase the stigma in our communities, in our Black and brown communities. It is no shame in asking for help. Listen, when my mom passed 20-some years ago, I got counseling. And I was working in the mental health field. Okay? Because it was hard. It was hard. I don't care how super and strong you think you are. Okay? When a person loses their mama and they're close to their mama, listen, it's no easy thing. You don't ever get over it. Okay? When a parent buries a child, I can't even imagine what that pain is. That's not something you're going to get over. So you're going to need some help. There are resources all over the place. You can get in Google. I always call Google Dr. Google because everybody's trying to diagnose themselves. Okay. But get on there and go to psychologytoday.com and it's on my page. As a matter of fact, I created a new Conversations page and I'm going to share this over because for some reason I didn't get the live option. So, but it's on there. Reach out for help. If I can't help you, I will refer you. I know I've got plenty of resources. So just reach out. Just reach out. And then we will be fine. We will be. Okay? All right. Well, thank you for joining and share this video, especially to people who may need the help or may need to have this information. Okay? And I'll see you next week. Have a blessed one.